this time.
Good
smooth.
morning,
That was
ladies
smooth. I
and
like
gentlemen.
that.
Yeah, it's a nice little track right there. Very, very
Yeah.
smooth. I thought I'll break up the norm from the usual, but the usual is still lit. I love that song, man.
Yeah, but
And,
it's also time for some new stuff. What up, everybody?
yeah. Go ahead.
No. It's your show
Oh,
today. This is
all
your
right.
topic. I'm going with you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for joining the AM Grind and Grit show. We'll discuss that later on, but we got Caleb in the building. We got Hood Conservative in the building. And this is the start of our new morning show. As of right now, every morning, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. And we're here to, rock with you on your way to work. If you're a trucker, a Lyft driver, Instacart, whatever it is for the working people, we're that voice to carry you to wherever it is that you need to go, with some definitely entertaining and some deep thought conversations. And today's conversation is going to be about, do police overuse their power, or is it necessary for them to do their job? Now, before we get into that discussion, I just want to ask you, brother, how are you this morning?
Oh, I'm ecstatic, baby. I know I'm a little tired because I've been working all night, but I'm ecstatic, baby. I was able to work all night. Do you understand what I said to you? I was able to work all night. Finally, I got wheels under my feet again. Man, you can't stop a brother when he got wheels, baby.
It feels good, don't it?
It feels so good to get my wheels back. Listen, I was sitting in this daggone house ready to kill well, I can't say that word on YouTube. YouTube be on some bullshit. But I was sitting here like, yo, man, I get why so many men just check out when it comes down to just being stuck in a certain particular environment and start certain atmosphere.
It's like you isolated.
It wasn't that I was isolated. It wasn't that. It was that I had no choices, right? I had to wait on whatever was going to happen, right? Shout out Erica P. I just had to wait, right, Matters? And let me tell you something. I'm a very patient man. I really am. I've had to be patient, and understanding and all that other stuff. But damn it, this was too much, man. But you know what? We here now, so I'm ready to rock and roll. Like I got wheels, baby. You know what I'm saying? Man, I want to yell. So I was my happy ass was outside all last night. Like I just got in the house about an hour ago. Busting it out, and soon after we have our 12 o'clock show, I'm gonna go out there and bust it out again. You know what I mean? So
Got you.
The videos may not be coming as fast as they used to, because now I have the ability. And I was telling Willie winning this the other day. He was like, well, why don't you just do this like that? Why don't you do this in your spare time? And I was like, you don't understand. There won't be any spare time.
Yeah.
I got to catch up.
Yeah.
You don't get it. Like I had to bust ass the way I did in order to get to a point where I know what I'm doing with YouTube or where there was TikTok or whatever, what have you, to get to a point where I can actually get to places on YouTube like this. But now that I have my air back, my wind, I'm gonna get back out there and I'm gonna make it happen. And this is a different environment, boy. Oh boy, this is a different environment. Don't get it twisted. Work is work. It's always going to be that way. But
it's a better experience. I'm assuming.
Yes, it's a better experience. The roads are different, so I'm not worrying about running around and busting my dad on rims like if I was in New Jersey. I don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? Like,
I know exactly what you're talking about, brother. The roads are different. Yes,
so different. And I don't have to worry about the whole, tolls and stuff like that. But I've been busting ass ever since I got that car. So now we are at a place where we're able to actually make things happen. Sooner or later, I'll be able to invest back into the Gary Lamb Network, actually start up a website with yours truly, Walls P. We're going to be starting a website together. And we're going to start branching out off of YouTube because the shenanigans that YouTube is doing, we don't know why they're doing it. We don't know what they're doing. All we know is that there is a push, and it could be for the better. It's hard to see that now. I mean, they got Cynthia G, so I'm happy about that shit. You know what I mean? So it's like there are things that I did not appreciate that happened, but at the same time, they got Cynthia G. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I could, look at it differently and say, you know what? Maybe, it's more of a necessity than just trying to knock people off the platform, right? Which leads right into the conversation at hand. Is it police brutality? Is it a overreach? Is it a huge power problem, or is it just necessary to deal with these crazy ass people on these roads? And I was listening to your live last night, and boy, did I want to say some things. I'm like, hold up, did you say that this man was in prison for 60 years falsely accused? Did you say that? Because I need you guys to understand, I don't trust any law enforcement after that. Now, I'm not, listen, and I understand where Strategic Eyes is coming from. Shout out to Strategic Eyes. Do yourself a service. Go and watch that brother's channel. He's not left. He's not right. He's just a cop. So let me just, that's how I'm going to call it. He's a cop. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to my boy. And he made some very strong points, man, that put me back in my seat, made me want to ask him questions. And I might even have him on the show and have the conversation. So you dog, because as a human being, I can see you as a person, but I can never see I have a hard time myself looking past that badge. You know what I mean? And that's just for me. It's just like,
and a lot of people feel that way too. A lot of people feel that way. But go on.
Yeah, like it's hard to look past that badge. And I'm just wondering, are you a good guy or a bad guy? Like, what is it? So it's really difficult for me. But according to what I was watching last night, dude, that was absolutely necessary for him to put that man down. I know it sounds ridiculous and it sounds horrible, but if it was between me and that person, I would choose that person over me. I would. I'm like, yo, it's time for you to go. I can't I can't run a risk because you don't want to go to prison or go back to
Mm-hmm.
jail because you did something wrong. You know what I mean? With that said, just like I said prior, 16 years falsely accused. You think I'm going to let you put me in jail? You think I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you put me in here like 16 years of sitting there in that place when you know you wasn't supposed to be there, and then all of a sudden you start thinking, well, maybe it wasn't, maybe what's up, Thomas? What's going on, brother?
What's going on?
Maybe
What's going
maybe
on,
it's
Thomas?
maybe I did it, maybe it was me, and you losing all hope
Mm-hmm.
because it's
Mm-hmm.
16 years of your life gone. You don't get that. And it's not like they give you a severance package like, all right, so you was making $20,000 when you went to
Yeah.
prison, so we're gonna give you $20,000 times 16. They don't do
Yeah.
that. They just say, well,
Mm-mm.
sorry, get back out there and try again.
When
Like,
I
well,
looked
you
at
took
the numbers, they only gave him like 800K, a little over 800K.
$800,000.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave him $800,000.
I believe so. They gave him 8 because he just bought a house and everything like that. In Georgia, because he was coming from visiting his mother in Florida.
Wait. So they gave him money.
Yes,
This is
because
confirmed.
they passed a new law. If you've been convicted wrongfully, they pay you compensation for the amount of years that you were incarcerated for. Yeah, and I believe when I read they compensated him like $815,000 around that. Yeah, let me just look it up just to make sure.
Yeah, because that's a horse of a different color if that is in fact the case. Because now that shifts me even further into the reason why cops need to do what they do. Because I hate to give. What's up, my is that?
Is that?
Well, I mean, you say that's it? Question mark. That's it. 800K. It's better than nothing. One. I understand why you like. That's it. I mean, you took 16 years of my life. That's nothing. You could print that, right? I get all that.
Now, to be fair, there have been other cases with about that time, and they've been awarded in the millions. So there have been other cases, but then again, it's different jurisdictions, this and the third. It's a lot that goes into it. But yeah, the man was compensated right here. Let me pull it up on the site so that we can see it here just to confirm this. Let me see, share screen. So right there. In June, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill claims bill granting Cure $817,000 in compensation for his conviction and imprisonment, along with educational benefits. So yeah, he was awarded just in June. He got the money. So he got out in 2020, and 3 years later he got that 800K.
And it took them 3 years to get it to him.
That's a long time to wait, though, man. 3 years.
Yeah. That's
a long time.
What up, Freedom? What up, Fetters?
Fetters.
Look,
it's tough, man.
Let's stay on topic, because the money is a nice step in the right direction, and I appreciate them for actually making that move, because now they're like, all right, cool, this is going to cost us if we make mistakes like this. We can't just keep throwing people away and then expecting the country to accept that we accept our oopsies. You know what I mean? We're getting really sick and tired of that. We have a show with Winning Reality that we're bringing up based upon why are Black people so emotional. And I said, look, I'm not about to do this have this conversation with him by myself. I need some.
You said this Thursday?
I think it might be this Thursday.
8 o'clock, right?
PM Eastern. And I'm like, look, if we can get a couple of people to get up there.
I may hop on. I may hop
Yeah,
on.
if I can get you
I think I can
maybe
hop on.
360 smooth, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And because it's really frustrating, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
to witness this kind of, injustice so many times over and over and over and over again. And I get a lot of people saying, well, it happens to us too. And I'm like, that is not a flex, dumbass.
Yeah.
I don't know how you see that as a flex. That's not a if they're doing this to you too, then we really have a huge problem. It's actually better if it was discrimination. We can at least accept that. Like, all right, so it's discrimination. We can work that out. But if you're telling me that they do the same crap to y'all and they make the same mistakes as they with
Hmm.
us that they do with you, that is not a flex. That's a problem. A huge
Now,
problem. You think I'm
now,
happy to hear that police officers are making these major mistakes, taking people's lives like that, and I'm just gonna be like, all right, well, it's okay. Well, since they're doing it to you, I'm fine with it. No, I'm not fine with it.
here's a conversation that I had with somebody on said topic going into last night's live with Strategic about the guy who did the 16 years and wound up getting killed with the confrontation with the police officer. Um, when we went into that discussion, I didn't realize the progression of his level of use of force. Because first he tried to tase, then he actually pulled the baton out and was swinging, and then that was when he eventually pulled his gun because he had no choice because the guy was besting him. So going into last night's live, I had a conversation with an individual because there was a woman. She was off her rocker. She went into a police station. I don't remember what state it was in. She went into a police station and she had a gun and she was banging on the glass window, like talking to the police officers, barking commands or whatever. So the cops were, behind the glass and everything, and it's, because the glass is bulletproof and everything like that. So they're back there barking commands like, "Hey, put the gun down," this, that, and the third. She then pursues to shoot the gun in the police station several times. Then after a while, you see her walking, put her coat down, and like she kind of like is pacing back and forth. So then you see the door that the cops gotta go into to get behind. They're like popping their head out, and they see her, and they're like moving back into coverage quickly. So then when they saw the opportunity present itself, they came out the door with tasers, tased the woman, and apprehended her. Going into the live, like I said, I didn't realize the progressions. And I didn't look at it like I didn't look at that video in the lens that we did last night, because last night I had a different take on what happened until we actually sat back and dissected it. So going into it, I was like, well, damn, you hear officers say, hey, I feel for my life all the time, but here was this woman in the belly of the beast with a gun, and they found a way to bring her in alive with a taser. They can't, like, the whole approach was with a taser. So it started making me think at that moment. I was like, yo, like, what part of the game is this that they brought this woman alive, but this man that served 16 years was killed? Like, where was the patience?
Well, now
And
you see where the patience was.
exactly, now I see it. So this is why that conversation of being angry will be very interesting, because not everybody look at things through a lens like that. Should we? But we know how it is with life. People are busy. You got work, you
Yeah.
got families, you got mouths to feed, the whole nine. So people don't really take the time to dissect these things, So going into, like, which bring us back to this whole, do police overuse their power, or is it just necessary? Sad to say, in a lot of cases, man, it's necessary.
Yeah.
I believe it's necessary, because too many, like, I always said this to myself. we're worried about police going haywire and killing people, this, that, and the third. But when the average person that you see gets confronted by a police officer, they just greet them with a lot of hostility, attitude. So you're gonna need to assert yourself to, you're gonna need to bark commands so that the people can comply. Now, of course, this is different than a person who's actually complying, doing what they need to do, and the cop overstep his boundary. That mofo should be held to the highest standard of the law.
Of course.
And I think that's where the issue there lies, is because you give the police officers all this power to swing it, to swing this power when they feel their life is threatened or whatever the circumstances may be, but they're also held at the lowest standard. So if I basically killed somebody, most likely I'm gonna face maximum sentencing. But on the other hand, a police officer who you literally gave all the power to, they'll be held to the lowest standard possible.
Well, gotta give you pushback. Y'all was already talking about George Floyd last night, and you had not only one, two, but a police officer who's saying, what was his name again? The guy,
Derek Chauvin.
Yeah, Derek should not be freed. He should get, the penalty that he has, right? Even with a procedure that he was taught in his unit, right? So there, even strategic ops is like, I don't condone what he did. Maybe take some sentence off of it, but he should serve his time. So it's correcting itself. Like, we got to understand that this thing has been starting to come out. We see how police officers, and this is why it's laughable that, I hear a lot of people say, well, black people are emotional. I mean, do you see what the cops do behind the scenes when no one's looking? You know what I mean? The emotionalism behind that. Like, it's like, oh, black people are overly emotional. Have you ever seen? Come on now. I mean, I get it. Yes, black people are very emotional creatures. Yes, we are. So are whites, so are Hindus, so are Asians, so are everybody else. We're just the ones that's mainstreamed in it, and we're the ones that's being seen doing, all these things. I got a freaking clip of police officers, running down suspects, hitting them with their police car, right? Running women over because they're pissed, breaking their phones and saying, I don't know what happened. Oh, what I'm saying? Like, doing all kinds of childish nonsense. And you're a cop. You know what I'm saying? You're a cop doing this stuff like that. And again, it's probably the vast minority of police officers doing it, but it's also the vast minority of blacks that's doing this stupid stuff too. Although we are commanding in crimes and stuff like that, I get all that. But you depress the environment in your neighborhood and see how soon you start seeing your people run to crime to survive. It's inevitable. It's a human trait to try to make the best out of one's life, right? And if you have nothing, you're going to resort to crime, because it's harder to it's harder to make $1 with 2 cents than it is to make $10 with $1. So I got to get $1 first. You know what I mean? So I got to do what I got to do. Is it a, what you call it? Should it be frowned upon stealing? Yeah, but stop hoarding the money too. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have any crime against hoarding the money, do we? There's no crime against that, but that people are going to commit crimes because you're hoarding the money, right? What do you need with $3 billion, right? But who is to say that you should be required to release that money as well? I'm just saying it's a lot more to the game than just meets the eye. But I have to say, man, I think that it's, and this is coming from a person that do not like the cops. I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't trust them. You know, I see a cop and I'm just like, here we go with this shit. You know what I mean? And the person probably have no ill will towards me. I don't care. You know what I mean? All I see is a cop. I don't see a human being. I see a person that can do me harm and throw me away. And because I don't have the resources to defend myself with the proper legal system, legal structure, I can be sitting and rotting in jail for 16 freaking years before I get any kind of, you know what I mean? Like, my life is over. My life is gone. $800,000 ain't gonna do nothing, right? Like, let's just break down what $800,000, you know, is per year. I just want to see what it is, because I think is prevalent, is important. If I can bring up my damn calculator. So 800K, you said?
817,000.
Okay, so let's go down to
divided by 16 years. That comes up to probably, I want to say 60K. No, not 60K. What am I saying?
$51,000
okay.
a year. Yeah, so that comes out to be $51,000 a year. Just buying a house, he's already halfway off of that. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, so he gets a house. You know what I mean? They gave him a house. You know, that's, you know, I guess.
He gets more than a house, because if you're telling me it's in Florida and Georgia, the house is there. You could get a banging house for like 100K, 200K, like in the ballpark figure, depending on like how lavish you want the house to be.
So Sub asked, what was the guy's history? Do we know what his history was?
The guy that did the 16 years?
Yeah.
He had no priors, nothing. He didn't have anything. What happened was he was charged for an armed robbery or something like that. And the way he wound up getting exonerated was when they overlooked the case, they see that there was purchase receipts and video surveillance at the time of the crime, that he was in a completely different, and the time, it was physically impossible for him to be at the place that the crime happened. Even if, you know, it was 3 minutes or 4 minutes prior or whatever, there was physically no way that he could be at that location. And it made me ask, like, when they said that, like, where was this evidence, you know, during the case? You know what I mean? Like, it really made me question, like, where was this evidence during the case?
But you gotta understand, this was 16 years ago, right? So it was a different time back then. That's true. Too. So it's like you know, we completely forget in 2000 and what was it, 2007 or 8? Is that I'm in the ballpark? Yeah. So 2007 or 8, it was a completely different environment, you know. So cops were able to get away with a lot more stuff. We didn't have as much exposure on them then. So now it's like, all right, cool. We got a lot more exposure. I think things are progressing pretty well. I do, because we're now starting to see the horrors of police work. Right, we're seeing what comes along with dealing with the worst criminals to be dealing with, right? People that are willing to do harm to you for you doing your job. Now,
see, I think a little bit different. The reason why I think a little bit different is because I'll believe there's a change on the way when these cops that are charged for something, because the officer who did the tasing, not the tasing and shot the guy, he was fired from another precinct for excessive force. Now, it's not to say that, you know, you can't be rehabilitated. Of course, anybody can be rehabilitated if they want to. But the thing is, something of that, like when you get fired for excessive force, to civilians, that's major.
Of course,
because you're a person who literally got an individual's life in your hand. The way I'll start seeing change is actually on the horizon is when an officer do something like that, get fired for it, and also get charged for obeying. For what's that called? It's called violation of oath. Because once you get charged with violation of oath, then that stays with you, and that's where it's on your like literal record if you try to go to another police station. Because if they fire you, you just go to another precinct and it doesn't follow you at all. Now, they tried to change that with the George Floyd Policing Act, and people are looking at it as, oh, this guy was a druggie, whatever. Why are we making an act for him? What people don't realize is the George Floyd Policing Act was so if cops do these things, they pretty much get a record that follows them from precinct to precinct. Because what you see now, like I said, they'll fire or they'll resign because they have pending charges and stuff like this. And since they resigned, it's like, well, nothing to see here. He's out of our hair. And the individual can just go to another precinct and it won't show up on their record. You got to actually dig deep to find it. But if they just go in to apply for a job, move on. Nothing to see here.
Wow.
Yeah. And another thing too that makes me, in order for me to see progress too, is when you see other cops that are whistleblowers, like it seems like they either got to resign themselves because it's like they went against the blue, the badge, so to speak. So it's like when they're whistleblowers, they're getting persecuted by their own precinct and they feel like they're not safe and have to resign. Now, I'm not saying that happens in all cases, but just think about it. If the narrative is it's a few bad apples, and I wholeheartedly believe there is a lot of good cops. I believe there's a lot of good cops. But why does it seem so hard for police to be whistleblowers or, hold other officers at a higher standard where say you have a cop that's using excessive force or breaking the law while apprehending a suspect or whatever the case may be. I would love to see the day when that officer see that the officer's doing wrong and it's, put your hands up. You're under arrest. You're violating your oath. Something of that nature. If I see that, then I can say, yes, a change is on the horizon. But until then, man, like it's so much stuff that could be swept under the rug. Like there was just an officer recently in New York was selling fentanyl and drugs to people.
Listen,
she recently got busted. Yeah, she recently got busted, but it's like I just can't see a situation where nobody knew about it.
Yeah.
Somebody had to have known for you to be doing, for stuff like this to be transpiring for that long, so to speak. So that's why I'm just like, was Derek Chauvin situation an outlier, or is that the norm? Is that going to be the norm? That's what I'm asking you. Do you believe that was an outlier, or do you think that's going to be the norm? Because I'm like, I want that silver lining to be like, yo, change is on the horizon. Yes, but I just don't see it as of right now, man. I just don't see it.
You don't see the change. And why don't you see the change?
The reason why I don't see the change is because maybe it's a small percentage of cases, but it just seemed like case after case after case, when people are whistleblowers, they're being persecuted by their own.
Well, I saw a police officer. I can't remember really his name. I was planning on doing a comparison between him and Andrew Tate, who pretty much experienced similar things, right? SWAT coming into their house at a certain time and, basically hauling them off to jail. This person was a police officer, and he was a really upstanding police officer. big dude, like 320 plus, like one of those big black dudes, you know, one of those cops that, you know, you want to look at him, you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna comply. Like I'd rather not even take a chance with this one. But he was interviewed, and God, I wish I could find him. So, oh my God, I want to talk about him because he breaks down on the podcast, because the people he called his partners are the ones who framed him and had him put in jail for the exact reason you're saying. These police officers were guilty as sin, and you know, apparently taking them down would have caused a rift in the police department, taking other people down. So they figured, let's go ahead and frame this guy. So they framed him and they put him in behind bars for X amount of years. He got off, he got cleared, but he couldn't get his job back. So, you know, this was his career. The man is sitting in his damn podcast, you know, breaking down, that big old dude breaking down. I'm looking at the pain in his face because he was an upstanding police officer and this is what's happening. So you look at these kind of things, you like, I don't want nothing to do with becoming a police officer, because you gotta understand that there are going to be some crazy ass things going on during busts, right? Their emotions are high as hell. You know what I mean? They're just like Strategic said last night. He said, "Yo, my adrenaline is pumping too, man. Like I have a lot. I can look. Yes, I got all this equipment, but that doesn't mean that I'm bulletproof. The vest is, but I'm not." You know what I'm saying? Like, it only covers but so much. There's so many other ways to take somebody out that does not require, you know, putting slugs in you. So it's like, it's more to the game than just that, right? But when you have a situation that we have in our country where police officers are held to such a low standard / high standard, and you have people who are just as afraid of the cops as they are of police, of criminals, what do? You know what I mean? Because again, you have a lot of old bad blood of planting things on people and, you know, hiding evidence, like Thomas said, and, you know, trying to get people convicted because the conviction rate is what's important, not finding out the truth and what really happened. And when you have a judicial system that's set up on, you know, that
it rewards.
Like, if you're going to reward the judicial system by hiding, they're going to do it. Like, they're human beings. Like, can we be honest about this? Can we be 100 or keep it buck? They're human beings too. You know what I mean? We don't know the real reason why they became police officers. I, till this day, don't understand why anybody would want that ridiculous job. I wouldn't want no parts of it. You know, to be hated like that for doing it, and you put your life on the line every single day with the lowest of the low, going in there, grabbing people that's doing ridiculous things, you know, and that's what you want. I have to ask the question, why would you want to do that? It's a hard question, man. It's like, what am I supposed to do? How am I going to make this work as a citizen? Like, how can I sit here and say I want to trust you as a police officer? I really do, but how can I when I see all this horrific stuff going on? I don't know, man.
Here's one thing I will say though. As far as like giving the police officers this power that they deem is necessary for them to have, for them to do their job, that's literally what incentivized people to actually do the job. Because think about it, if they didn't have that, you're already saying, yo, I wouldn't want to be a cop because it's a hard job. So now imagine going into being a cop without that. That's gonna sway you even more to be like, wait a minute, you mean if I mess up, you know, I could be facing a life sentence. I mean, you could do it. You could be serving a life sentence anyway, but there's protections to prevent that from happening. Like it got to be so egregious for it to happen. So I get the protections, but the problem is it takes a hell of a person to have absolute power and not abuse it. Because at the end of the day, we're human. We're all human. So it's like it's so easy, to be feeling yourself a little bit and think, yo, I'm untouchable. It's just like the opposite side of the spectrum of a criminal. You do a little petty crime, and you get away with it, so to speak. And you're like, yo, I don't know.
Snowballs from there. And that,
exactly.
It snowball. And here, that's where that mentality comes into place, right? Now you got so many things that you've done. And it's like, holy cow, all this can catch up to me if once the yarn starts to unravel, all this stuff can actually catch up to me. It's going to affect my family. It's going to affect people around me. I might lose my house and I might lose this because it's a huge problem, right? Because you can't tell me that all these cops are squeaky clean. You're going to tell me that you confiscated $4 million in drug money and all $4 million made it to the state. You're going to tell me that you're going to tell me that, like, you want me to believe that, huh? On the police authority with all the crap that you're dealing with, the kid needs braces. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? College fund needs to be paid, the wife wants to go on a vacation, and you're going to tell me you're not going to just, dim and dabble that a little bit like that. Your moral code is that friggin' high. Then if your moral code is that friggin' high, you shouldn't be making any mistakes on the road, right? Yeah. Like what, like, how are you making these type of mistakes, right? So, my thing is this: you're dealing with a flawed system, with a flawed human being, and you're trying to correct flawed criminals. Right, like it's just it's a big mess. But Michael says Chauvin is innocent, and he also said Floyd OD'd. Now, how do you feel about that? What do you think about that?
I have to disagree with that, and the reason why I have to disagree with that is because people in the medical field, and good morning, Lady Lamb, good morning. Regardless of how I may feel about the situation, because all it comes down to is feeling. I like to look at the facts of the situation. So an argument can be made, well, he was on fentanyl, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. It is no way you can tell me that a man who, even though he took fentanyl, who was walking like a modern day citizen, whatever, because I think he had a fake $20 bill, whatever, this, that, and the third. It's no way you can tell me a person who was on drugs or whatever the case may be, and you're pressing on the guy's neck area or chest area for 8-something minutes. He's literally telling you, yo, I can't breathe. You don't do your diligence as an officer to roll them over or whatever the case may be, or check on them. I don't care if people do this on a regular, where they try and like say, oh, I can't breathe, I can't move, this, that, and the third, because they're trying to, finagle themselves. That's your job. That's why you have all these protections. That's why you have all these other officers around you. So if you fail to do your diligence of turning him on his side or whatever the case may be, so that you can, have the power position of the suspect or the perp, you got to accept what the consequences that come with it.
Yeah.
And if medical experts are saying, yo, that attributed to his death, feelings or not, I got to go with the facts. And I think that's what, that's something that's detrimental to us in society, is because we'll go on feelings as opposed to facts. Hell, we just did a show yesterday on why blacks vote Democrats. Most blacks vote on feelings.
Yep.
They won't look at the, like they'll look at part of the equation that fits their narrative, which is money. Am I getting money? But other than that, they go based off feelings. So that's a unhealthy approach to take on things,
Yeah.
to base it on feelings. I like to base it on facts that's irrefutable, and on top of the facts, I look at it from a logical sense,
Right.
because there's plenty of cases where for instance, I believe the police officers apprehended a suspect, right? And he was in the back of a police vehicle. I don't know if drugs was in his system or whatever the case may be, but what did happen was, when they was transporting him to the police station, they had him handcuffed, but they never like strapped him in.
Hmm.
And this was like those vans, those vans like they transport prisoners, so you sit like on a bench with your hands, behind your back. They never strapped them in. So
Right.
the cop was driving, doing something, and he slammed on the brake. That dude went flying and basically snapped his neck. He's in the
Wow.
back of the police vehicle saying, "Yo, I can't move. I can't move." "Oh, yeah, you're fine. You'll be all right, whatever." So now when they get to the precinct, they're like, "Yo, get up." He's like, "Yo, I'm literally telling you, I can't move. I can't feel anything. I can't feel anything." And
Wow.
he's just like, "You're faking. You're faking." And they're really getting mad at the dude. Like, they're really literally getting mad at the dude. Long story short, the guy wound up dying. And just to answer Michael's question, I did look at the autopsy report, and what everybody is harping on is it's saying that there was no because I got it pulled up
Yeah.
literally.
Let's watch it. Let's look at it. Let's pull it up.
um
Let's this is a show and tell show, even though half
yeah,
this is definitely a show and
because
tell
because
show.
because social media was trying to say, oh, there's a new autopsy report, and no, it's the same autopsy report that's been going on, and this is the line that everybody is going on: no life-threatening injuries identified. This is page 2 of the article. Right here, say no life-threatening injuries identified. No facial, oral, muscular, or conjunctive, yada yada. But that's the line that everybody is harping on. Now, it doesn't state on the autopsy that it was asphyxiation or anything like that did it, whatever, because this autopsy really doesn't say what killed him. Because it's just saying, yo, were there any blood force injuries? Were there any natural diseases? And no life-threatening identifying injuries. Then they did viral testing. Nowhere in this article, aside from it saying he didn't note his death wasn't from asphyxiation, nowhere in this autopsy report does it say he died because of overdosing. Now, if it does, please show me where it says it. Now, we could take this step by step, Gary, and actually look at this thing for what it is and read the whole thing. But when I read it, nowhere did it say final diagnosis: 46-year-old man who became unresponsive while being restrained by law enforcement officers. He received emergency and medical care in the field and subsequently in the Hennepin Healthcare Emergency Department, but could not be resuscitated. So basically, while he was in their protective care, that's when he died. And the man was screaming, "Yo, I can't breathe," this, that, and the third. And he's in their protective service, in their protective care, and he died. We don't know what would have happened with George Floyd if that man would have went about his business, had his fentanyl, whatever the case may be. We do not know. But what we do know A man was on his neck. He was saying, "I can't breathe," and he wound up being unresponsive.
Yeah,
So,
he was a junkie, absolutely. So what? See,
yeah,
this is the part that that gets me. Shout out to Thomas. He's been with us for a long time. He
yeah,
says, actually, you have one side that only cares about feelings, while the other side has been lied to enough. They don't trust any of the facts presented by experts, which are just often liars in suits. Thank you so much, Thomas, for
yeah,
that comment. You are talking about a corrupt system where only criminals get off. All right, like
yeah.
this is the system that we're seeing, that criminals get off because they have a lot of money, right?
Hmm.
The guy that just lost his life because we don't know what happened to him in that jail. We don't
Exactly,
know
exactly.
because when he went in, how old was he when he went in? Do you know?
I don't know how old he was when he went in. That I
No,
don't
how
know.
old was
I
he
don't
when he
remember.
died? Do you know that? No.
Was he? He was 50 something, I believe. He was 50 something.
He was in his 50s.
I
But this
believe
man had a
so.
whole life before he went to jail. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And he gets out, that
because
whole life is
he,
gone.
I believe he was on the verge of in college or going to college, something like
Hmm.
that. But I'm gonna find out now.
Okay. But
Mm.
back to what I was saying, it's like when it comes down to the emotional part of it, it's like, yeah, of course black people are emotional. We're being denied
53 years
left and
old.
right. He was 53 years old, subtract
Yeah,
16, so he was 40, 30. He was in his 30s. So it's
yeah,
like he had a whole life. You know what I'm saying? He had a
yeah.
whole life just snatched away from him, and he didn't do nothing but go to a freaking store. You know what I mean? So it's like, um, yeah, this kind of stuff happens, and yeah, yes, black people are very emotional because it didn't just affect him; it affected everybody that every life he was involved with when that happened. And now these people are saying like, "Yo, man, my partner, my friend, my boyfriend, my husband, whatever the hell he was to people, went to jail for nothing." You know what I mean? And you
Hmm.
keep hearing that over and over and over and over and over again. You keep hearing that like a broken record. You're not going to
Hmm.
trust the cops. You're not going to trust the law. You want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Nothing, because you don't trust the system, because we don't have the income. We don't have the resources. We don't have the lawyers that's willing to take these take these people and try to get them off, right? Because they don't make
Hmm.
enough money, right? I was looking to go and get some help. I want to talk to people about the stuff that I just went through, man. I mean, I've been traumatized behind this stuff, man. I lost
Hmm.
everything behind this ridiculous crap to find out. And I know a lot of people like, wow, you keep talking about that. Yeah, let it happen to you and see how cheerful
Facts.
you're going to be. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? To
Hmm.
lose everything in the last 2 years and just watch it get snatched away from you. Nobody has any remorse for what happened. Oh well, tough titty. Try again next time. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the answer, and you're gonna wonder why a person was emotional. I had goals that was just snatched away from me just like that, because some asshole decided that he was going to keep his house by utilizing things that wasn't his, and it affected me tremendously. It affected my family. I could have went down that evil path. I was seconds from it, seconds, because I was surrounded by drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? The whole
Yeah.
block
Yeah.
the whole street was drug dealers. And no, I am not. I don't have a mentality like that, but I can develop one. It's
Yeah.
not like I can't do it, So it's not like it didn't cross my mind either. Just a couple of scores just so I can get this monkey off my back, and then you start realizing, damn, this is some easy ass money, and damn, I could do another one, and that'll clear up that bill, and I'll do another, and that'll clear up that bill, and it's a slow drip. Before you know it, you're in trouble with the law. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So that's why I didn't do it. But boy, I was close. I
Yeah.
was close, because it's like, come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm watching my perfect credit get shot to shit. It's like how long it took
Yeah.
me to rebuild that crap, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
it's gone, and I'm starting all over from scratch again for the third time in my life. And this time it wasn't my fault. The first time I was just gullible. I didn't know anything about the stock of the mortgage, whatever. Everybody was telling me the safest investment was houses. So what do? I got in freaking mortgages. All right, cool. It's the safest investment. So cool. People was freaking just singing praises of how much money they're making as a mortgage broker, as a doing mortgages and stuff like that. So I got into it. 2008, boom, the bubble blew up, and here we are, right on square one, ground zero again. So there's a lot of things that can make a person emotional to the degree where this person is willing to do whatever it takes to win. Okay, it's people snap daily. Right. And here I am saying, I don't want to snap. So let me go ahead and see if I can get some support. And a person saying, yeah, I can't help you because, we accept your insurance, but you got to be 18 or younger for us to accept the insurance. But don't worry, it's $60 an hour. What? You want me to pay you $60 for an hour to talk to you? Like, I would if I had $60 to pay you. You know what I mean? But I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you think I have the insurance that I have, asshole? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a, well, I like to be straight up with you. I just can't do it. And I get it. He has a profession and all that other stuff. Totally get that. But guess what? This is how we get to a point where people just say nobody gives a shit. And when you start feeling like nobody cares, you start not caring because it hurts too much to care. Right. So, I don't know. I think a lot of people are really missing it because it's real easy to shout, well, I went through hard times. Did you really? Did you really go through hard? Do you know what hard times is?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I know you struggled with, your little, job, and you had, well, I had the bus tables. Yeah, I know that was horrific, right? You know what I'm saying? Busting tables, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had the bus tables and I had to pay my way through college. Yeah, I get all that. How did you get to college, by the way? I got these grants. Okay, cool. So you did get something. You wasn't all, you didn't just do it by yourself. You're really lying right now, but you just want to pad the truth because it sounds better in your situation, because you don't want to sound like you had a silver spoon in your mouth, but you had a freaking silver spoon in your mouth telling me that you know what struggle is. No, you don't. You know what it's like to struggle with money. You don't know what it's like to struggle without it. Facts. So it's like it's easy for people to say, oh, you're just being emotional. Oh, black people are just in their head. Well, it's in your head. That is not true. I'm like, oh my God. All right, maybe it is. Maybe you're right. Maybe you are. All right. Care to switch sides. Do you care to switch sides? I saw a millionaire, a millionaire. He decided that he was going to show that he can become a millionaire within a year if he gave everything up. So he locked down everything. He had his all his bank accounts frozen, and he started off with nothing but the shirt on his back. The man, I watched that thing. The man went 8 months before he gave up, and his excuse was because his father needed him. His father's health was failing. That was his excuse. Oh, well, I had to give it up because, bullshit. You couldn't cut it, nigga.
Exactly.
You couldn't cut it. Let's be real. You couldn't cut it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You thought selling a couch was easy. No, it ain't. First of all, it takes all day long to sell a couch. All day.
I got you one. Why do you think when you see people who were especially like the people who were born into wealth and they lose their money, what do they wind up doing?
A lot of times they themselves.
Delete themselves. Yeah. That's what they do because they don't know how to, maneuver without any money, And this is one thing I love to hear this argument when it's like, well, Tyler Perry did it. I know you hear that argument so many times.
Oh, so you want to go there? All right, cool. I got one better for you. Damian John did it too. Oprah did it too. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of us did it. I get that, and I totally understand where you're coming from. But look at how they did it.
Yes.
It's all
Facts.
entertainment. They didn't
Yep.
do it with a freaking, mining company. They didn't start off
Yeah.
with, you know what I'm saying? Like they
They
started
didn't
off
invest
entertainment.
stocks.
Yeah, they didn't do it in
They didn't
stocks, you
do
know what I'm
real
saying?
estate and
Right. They had to have raw talent to get where they at. Raw freaking talent that you can't produce on merit alone. They had to have raw talent. And look at what they had to go through to get there. Damian John used to make shirts in his mother's front room, right? That's how he got started. So you already know what it's like to be a man with a job that nobody really likes, right? You know what it's like to have a job.
Oh
And
yeah.
you're making like 35,000 a year, you know what I'm saying? The girl looking at you like, I mean, you cute and all, but you only make 35,000, this is a nice car and everything, but you ain't nothing but an Uber driver. Because that's how they look at you, right?
Yep.
Let's throw in you ironing shirts in your mother's front room.
Oh man.
That's what you do?
Yep.
And you wonder why he with white women.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, it's like we forget the peer pressure that goes along with trying to make it. You know how many people came at me, made me look, oh, that, you know what I'm saying? This is a hobby, this is that, blah, 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 yada, 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 making me feel like, small, but encouraging me in their own way. Like, but you got responsibilities and you got this and you got that. And I'm like, yeah, I hear you. But you don't think those men had responsibilities when they were doing it? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't think they had, peer pressure and they had friends and family telling them the same shit?
Later, T3. Thanks for coming through. But yeah, go on.
Awesome, T3. What happened? I don't see T3. What happened?
Talking Trash and Truth. Ain't that T3?
I don't see her.
Yeah, she's in the comment section. You don't see it right there. This is the last comment.
The last
I'm off to bed, so tired.
Yeah,
great job, guys. Yeah,
thank you, T3. But yeah, like all that stuff, it's like it's easy to do that, man. But if you really want to make it in anything, you gotta give it everything you got. You can't pussyfoot it around. You can't just mail it in, if you sort of speak. Oh, work it as a hobby until it start making money. Well, it's not going to ever make money until you start working it as a business. It's just what it is. I mean, you have to work it as a business, and if you're not working it as a business, it's just going to stay a hobby for the most part. People don't just pop up on a scene with the gangster lean, just because they decided to throw one video out. No. You got to throw out thousands of videos, see 900 of them flop, maybe 100 of them do somewhat good, 2 of them do really good, and you got to sit back and wonder what was the difference between those videos as opposed to other videos, right? You have to find a winning strategy.
You know what I think the problem is? Because let's be real, there are some cases where somebody blow up off one video, or so to speak, and they don't have a lot of videos in their catalog. But that's an outlier. And the problem is people will try and make the outlier the norm.
Yeah.
And I don't want to break this. I don't want to bring this into talking relationship talk, but I think that's a detriment when it comes to women. They believe like, I'm going to find, Mr. High Roller, like they grow on trees, not realizing it's an outlier. People take the same thing with the careers and stuff like this, or when it comes to going viral and content creation, they think, oh, this person made it big in this amount of time, oh, I could do. Because realistically, when I got into the YouTube space, Gary, I'm not gonna lie to you, man, I'm thinking to myself, yo, I'm gonna get in this, give myself a year. By then I should have, 50,000 subscribers easily, and the money's gonna be coming in, blah, blah, blah. This is what I'm thinking going into it because I'm like, man, this ain't nothing until I actually started doing it.
Yeah.
That's when I realized, like, yo, this is a lot of work. Like
Yeah.
the work that I would do going out in the field working, yo, when it came to starting YouTube,
No
yo, it
skills,
would
huh? It
go
requires no skills to do this. None. No
yo,
skills.
that's what I thought,
Yeah.
man. You talking editing videos, it would take hours on
Learning
hours because I had to
software.
learn it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, there was times I forgot to eat. I literally forgot to eat. Like,
Forget to eat. My wife would sit there. My wife got to a point where she started leaving notes right next to the computer.
yes,
Your plate
yes.
is in the microwave.
Yo, that's facts, yo.
Oh my god, I remember those. I mean, she still do it to this day. You know what I mean? But that's the love of my life. She got my
Yeah.
back. You know, and I think that's another reason why a lot of men give up, because they either one don't feel that their spouse have their back, or know their spouse don't have their back. So it's like, well, I gotta do this because I can't. And shame really affects men
Oh
completely.
yeah.
It really affects men when a man feels
Mhm.
like he's not contributing and he's not producing, even though that is not the case. The numbers are saying you keep pushing, you keep going, you keep grinding, you keep going, you're going to eventually hit it. You know what I mean? It's just you
Mhm.
got to keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. And you have to dismiss your emotions, dismiss what you see, dismiss what you're hearing, and just keep going. That's why I stopped talking to people. I just start cutting people off
Yeah.
because I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I can't listen to you tell me the same shit. Like, you got people that tell me to do stuff, and I'm like, yo, dog, and can you please explain to me how did you do it?
Yes.
I would
Yes.
love to see how you did it. Oh, wait,
Yep.
you're doing what everybody else is doing, right? Well, that's why I'm not listening to you,
Mm-hmm.
because you're doing what
Mm-hmm.
everybody else did. Trump didn't get rich by going to work. Tyler Perry didn't get rich by going to work. Oprah didn't get rich by going to work. Damian John did not get rich by going to work. They
Yep.
all had to put in sweat equity for years before they made it big. Years. Look at Steve Harvey. Do you remember his story? The man used to be he used to wash up in private public bathrooms
Mm-hmm.
because he had no place to go. He had no place. So he will wash up in the public bathrooms so he won't smell. You know what I mean? Go run
Yep.
into the stall, try to run out, try to clean. Like, this is his story, dog. His big break was on HBO. They asked him, he wrote the freaking Mike Tyson line on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that line took him over. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
here's the thing: how it happened was he made a couple of $100 for I believe I'm saying it right. He made a couple of $100 to do some jokes at this club. Then he got the plane ticket, went to Def Comedy Jam, did the line, boom, blew up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
this stuff. He was saying he was thinking like, yo, I can't do this anymore. I just can't do this anymore. I
Mm-hmm.
gotta stop this. I can't. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna happen. And if he would have gave up when he had that thought, you know what I mean? Like, if he would
Yeah.
have gave up at that moment, he would not be Steve Harvey today. So you think I'm gonna listen to a motherfucker? You think I'm gonna listen to you, bruh? You give up on every damn thing you've ever done in your friggin' life. You gave
Yep.
up on your
Yep.
wife. You gave up on your kids. You gave up on you gave
Yep.
up so easily. And I'm gonna listen to you. No, I'm not listening to you. I'm going to keep going. I know it's going to be hard. It was designed to be hard to get off the system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We talk a
Yeah.
good ass game about how the system was designed this way and all this. Well, it was rigged and da 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 da. And then you got that song of Richmond coming up and all this other stuff. Everything is pointing to the system was rigged to make it harder and harder for people like you and people like me to break out of it, because they need slave wage earners. They need slave
Mm-hmm.
wage earners. We know
Mm-hmm.
this. That's
Mm-hmm.
how they make their bread. That's how they keep their pockets lined with cash. That's how they do it, by keeping slave wage earners out there. Teach them up.
Sell the person a dream
Yep.
that they can pursue happiness
Mm-hmm.
by going to work 9 to 5, this, that, and the third, and that's how you keep them on that treadmill.
You keep it on the treadmill, and I'm sitting here like I'm getting off the treadmill, because the treadmill will kill me. If I stay here, it will kill me. So I got to get off the treadmill. I can't just
Mm-hmm.
keep going like this. It's not going to work. They get the best of your freaking juices because they make you work 9 to 5. The best of your juices go to them. And they're like, well, when you get off of work, you can go ahead and work on your hobby. Yeah, because that's what you call it, a hobby. You know what I'm saying? But when you get off of work, you can go and work on your hobby.
You know what I honestly wish? Because when you listen to a lot of these people's success stories, you know who they had to look out for? Themselves.
Yep.
They didn't have a family. They didn't have a child to feed. None of that. I can easily fend for myself and make it work if it's just me. I've been doing that for better part of my life. So that's easy. Not to say it's easy, but it's much easier for me to sacrifice going a day or two without eating because I'm pursuing my dream. I can sacrifice doing that. But now when you have kids that rely on you, a family, that's a lot. That is a lot on my shoulders that I have to worry about. So on top of me not getting a meal, they're not getting a meal. And even if I run into scraps, it got to go to them. So now I'm risking my health deteriorating. And people don't think about these things, man.
People don't. Okay, and here's one of the unfortunate truths about being a man. Nobody gives a shit until you start falling apart.
Yep.
When you start when you start having doctor bills pile up, that's when people start caring. That's when people start noticing, oh, he's not Superman. Oh, he is not able to do this forever. You know what I mean? That's why I harp on stop spending my my energy. Don't spend my energy. Don't spend it, because my energy is finite. All right. They're going to constantly, you have my wife and I, we went to the freaking swap meet the other day, and we was watching, we were looking at all this stuff that, people pay full price for, that they're selling for like a fraction of the cost. Like somebody paid full price for this. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody paid full price for it, and and these look damn near brand new. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like, how is that? How are you going to spend somebody's, labor like that? You know what I mean? Like you just spend people labor up like that, and then don't see nothing wrong with it. Oh, well, I needed a new purse. Okay, then go work for it. You go out there, you do the due diligence, and you work for it. You spend 10 hours working your ass off in front of customers that just want to, just you do it. I'm not doing that. That's why I tell women all the time. And I know a lot of women say, oh, you women bashing. Listen, I just listen. If that's how you feel, I can't help. I don't want to. This is my freedom of speech. This is what I'm saying. All right. As a man, I don't want you to sit here spinning up my labor, because it's finite. All right. I want things in my life that has nothing to do with you or children. Okay. When do I get to be a little selfish as a man? When do I get to spend up my resources on me? When do I get the time to spend my dollars on me? When do I get to take 80% of my work and labor and put it into what I want to put into? When do I get to do that? Until you get what you want, right? Because men are supposed to provide, right? Nobody's going to argue that point that we're not supposed to provide, right? Men are supposed to provide. But if you see that your man has a dream, and he's like, he keeps going back to it, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like you sacrifice so much for us. We can do this. That's what my wife did. She was like, you know what? We can do this for it. We can do this. Let's do it. We didn't know it was going to be this hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
I thought it was going, if I knew it was going to be this hard, I probably wouldn't have done it. And I'm like, nah, that's a lot of work with no reward at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really want to do that. But we here now, and I'm not going to stop because it got hard. You know, because if that's the case, then I'm not fit to be a content creator to begin with. If I stop because it got hard, then I'm not fit to have it. I'm not.
You know what advice I would bestow on my children? Say if because my son had conversations like, yo, I want to be a content creator. My daughter was like, yo, I want to be an artist, this, that, and the third. And of course, he's big into video games and stuff like this. The knowledge that I want to bestow on them is your dreams and hope that you want to accomplish. Do them now, especially if you can do it while being under my roof, where you kind of still got it easy through life, where you can focus on what you need to do and be provided for. Go for it. Do it. Because I would rather you go out and bust your butt to accomplish whatever your desire and your dream is, where you have somebody to at least keep a roof over your head, kept you fed, this, that, and the third. And once you crack that code, that's going to also benefit me also.
Yeah.
And you're going to accomplish, because it's so much easier to do it when you have that. Because what's the number one thing when it comes to these people that were chasing these dreams and stuff like this? You didn't have no source of income to put back into what it is that you're doing.
Yep.
So if you have that foundation with your parents, because I promise you, if I would have did this when I was living under my parents' roof, oh my gosh, yo,
it'd have been a different life.
It would have so much of a different outcome, Gary. Like for me and you, it would have been so much of a different outcome. Yeah. Like we probably would have met on different terms where it's like, oh, you a big YouTuber, yo, you a big YouTuber too, yo, let's collaborate,
It's pretty much what's going on with our youth now. A lot of our youth are very, very big on TikTok. They're big on YouTube. They're big in a lot of these social media platforms because they had that run. They had the ability to just stay on mom and dad's dollar until they, you know what I mean? Which is, there's a lot of superstars out there that's on TikTok, tons of them, right? I'll probably never know them because I don't watch their content or consume their content, but they're out there. And, that's why so many people's like, wait a minute, you're trying to take this away? You're like, yeah, because it's unfair for you to be able to make that kind of money. And we still need workers. Like, you can't find, like, it's hard to get people to go to work now. And I'm like, this is the thing. I hear a lot of conservatives say, well, people don't want to work. I'm like, no shit, because y'all don't pay nothing.
Yeah.
I don't want to work for you either. You know what I'm saying? You don't pay nothing. Like and you hear these people say, yeah, but it's a low skilled job. Exactly.
Yep.
It's a low skilled job, which is why I don't want to work for you. You're trying to pawn off your shitty position that you don't want to do on me, and then have the nerve to say, well, this is the cap, 15,000, because it's a low skill job. Okay, so fuck you and your low skill job. I'll do something else. And then you get shot. Whoa, we can't find nobody that want to work. Make your kid work. Let your kid do it. I mean, that's what you was going to do anyway. Let your kid do it.
Yep.
Well, my kid don't want to do it. Oh, I wonder why. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody wants to do that crappy job. I'm gonna have to. I just took a person to pick them up from Target, and the person gets in my car, and I say person because I'm not sure if it was a transgender man or what. I think it was a transgender man, facial hair, but everything's telling me otherwise, right? So I'm like, and then the person starts to talk and start to relay their health issues, and I'm like, that's, oh, you have bone disease, huh? Okay, yeah, that's That's a hormone issue right there, I think.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong, right? But these are the things that happen to, when they're doing whatever. I don't know. But the point is, this person was complaining from jump of how hard life
Mm,
is for them, how they're in pain, how Sundays are the worst time to work at Target, and
mm,
just unloading his frustration in the cat in my car. And
mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm.
listening to this person and I'm like, damn, man, I get that. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been there. Like,
Yep.
I get that. Like, all the things that I thought before this person got in my car, like, oh shit, look at this. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I forgot it all. It went away. The person didn't sound like he was complaining. He sounded like a person that was venting. Like, he's tired of this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
where's the silver lining, man? Like, where is it? Like, I know, and you can hear him. I know it's going to get better. I know it's going to be better, but I need this job. I can't afford my medical card, and I need that for pain. And it's just, but I know it's going to get better. And you can hear him trying to keep himself going, trying to boost himself, like, because it's getting better. He was bouncing from couch to couch, like, yo, just tell me I don't know that story. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So it's
man,
like,
yeah, yeah.
it's like I'm listening to this guy, like, damn, man. So I'm like, yo, and I just said, listen, keep your head up. It's going to get better. I assure you, just keep pushing, keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be painful your entire life. All right.
Yes.
It never gets easier.
Mm-mm.
You just get tougher and tougher and tougher, but
Mm-hmm.
it never
Mm-hmm.
gets easier. All right. You think one day you're going to be this big, broly, strong dude who don't feel nothing. I feel everything.
Yep. Yep.
Everything. You said to me that somebody said that they're tired of the woman bashing, and that cut me like a freaking knife. It cut me because I'm like, you think what I'm doing is women bashing? Oh no. You haven't heard Gary Lamb woman bash a day in your life, because what I really feel in my heart about these women in this country, you don't want to hear it. It will break your freaking heart.
Mm.
It will
Mm.
make you think twice about even looking at another woman, because the women in this country are scum. So many scumbags in this country doing horrible things to people because they can. Because
Mm-hmm.
they can. You want to hear woman bashing? Let me tell you how I really feel. All right, but I can't do that, because then I lose my female audience, because they will get in their freaking feelings and they will sit there and say, I'm not listening to him anymore. When I'm not trying to woman bash, I'm trying to wake you up to what these women are. Okay, women
Mm-hmm.
don't know how women operate because they do not date women. They date men. Okay, and if you're dykes know what the hell I'm talking about. Butch lesbians know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I'm
This
saying? They know
it's
exactly what I'm talking about.
it's funny because I just recently had a conversation and I was saying this. You know how we always harp on the fact that divorce rate is the divorce is initiated 70% by women and 30% by men,
Yeah.
and how women say men are the problem. Do you realize when it comes to the LGBTQ community, women marrying women, the divorce rate is above 70%?
It's higher than even
Yeah. And for men, so it's like, okay,
And now what is the head the home what is the
the
gay
whole
rate?
it's like that 20-30% or something like that. But
I
the
wonder
bottom
why.
line,
I
the
wonder
bottom
why.
line is this, right? You're not happy with the opposite sex, you're not happy with the same sex, but you're saying men ain't crap. So if you're turning to your own sex for a solution and you're still getting the same results or higher results as far as initiating divorce, maybe we need to look in the mirror at this
Oh,
point.
good luck with that. That's not
Because
happening.
you get what I'm saying? Because that speaks for itself. that was staggering when I saw that, yo.
Yeah, but
I was
that's
like,
hold on,
wow.
but Walls, you
Hmm.
cannot generalize, man. Can't generalize.
We gonna do that now.
No, you can't generalize, man. You're talking about a selective few of people that actually do this. This is not all women, Walls. Gotta stop with this generalization crap. I can't stand when you do that. It's so
Oh my
amazing
gosh.
when you bring the facts up. Oh, it's generalizing now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Nobody got time for this. It's like, yo, I firmly agree with a lot of the things that black men are saying and doing. I mean, this is not a black man show, although this is a black man show, I guess, because it's only two black men.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got to get a white person up here. Got to break up the monotony. But I just really think that. I think that our country is in a very, very sensitive place right now. It's a major transition. We're transitioning from being slaves to trying to be our own men and own women now, right? And they're growing pains, right? They're major growing pains because what women are realizing is, wait a minute, that silver lining is not silver at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're starting to realize that, and they're realizing that in mass numbers. Like, hold up, you got people saying, "Yo, this working crap is for the birds, man. Every day, like 40 hours of my life, just going to this job over and over and over again to buy things to help me get to work." See, that's the problem. Like, you're buying things to help you get to work, and that's all expenses. That's all expenses paid by you. Right, you're paying the taxes on that car. That's not a business car; it's a personal car. Therefore, you have to pay the taxes on it. Right? You get no bit. You can't write it off because it's a personal vehicle. It's not a business vehicle. It's a personal vehicle. Therefore, you can't write it off. Which means you can't write off your insurance either because it's a personal policy. You're using this car for what? Pleasure purposes only, to lower your premium. Right, so you can't use that car for, well, you can, but you can't write it off until you incorporate yourself. These are the things that they don't teach you in school. You know what I mean? They don't teach you these in schools because once you incorporate yourself, I'm like, wait a minute, if I'm already carrying the cost, why am I going to your job to get taxed even more? I'm the one carrying the cost. That's why I do Uber. That's why I do Lyft, because I'm carrying the cost of this car. So I might as well work the car like I want to work the car. Why am I going to your job and you tell me when I can get paid and how much I can get paid? Like, when I gotta work? No, I'm gonna work this job my way.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm
not about you control your own destiny as far as how much you'll make. Like, you know, the
exactly.
You decide that on your own time.
Yep.
If I want to say, you know what, I'm gonna lay my ass down and not do a damn thing today, that's your choice. You don't got nobody on your back telling you, hey, how come you didn't call? Like, you control your own destiny.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yes, and I think a lot of people don't understand that because they don't know what. First of all, let's keep it a buck. You know how hard it is to wake your ass up without the alarm clock?
Oh yeah. Brother, you talking to somebody that wake up 2:30 in the morning to get to work at 4 a.m. And when I tell you that is hard, like, that is not an easy task, man. It is not an easy task. But I do it.
Yeah.
But I do it.
Yeah. I mean, now think about not only just getting yourself up, putting yourself to work without knowing the first step. See, this is why a lot of people say, well, you know what I'm saying, I work harder than him. No, you don't. You do not work harder than your boss. That's a fucking lie. You don't work harder than your boss. Stop lying. You do not work harder than your boss. All right. Now, let me say this. You might work harder than your boss now, but you forget that he was in business for 40 years. You know what I'm saying? You forget that he started off with one truck. You forget that he started off with one client. You forget that he started, you know what I'm saying? You forget that this is his fourth business that failed. You know what I'm saying? You don't look at all the progression of what it takes to become a master of your craft. You don't think about it. Listen, one of the most painful truths that I had to accept was it takes 10,000 hours to become a master. 10,000 hours. When I realized that I had to clock my hours, I was like, whoo, this is a long ass journey.
That's a long,
That's a
that's a long,
long
that's a
ass
long time, yo.
journey, bruh.
Yes.
10,000 hours.
I don't even
10
want to think about it,
let's
man. Like,
let's do the math. 10,000 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Times, let's say divided by 40 hours a week. 250 weeks. That's what it breaks down to.
yeah, and divide that by
250.
12.
If you do your craft 40 hours a week, it's going to take you 250 weeks. What's that breakdown in years? Divided by 12.
That's almost 5 years. That's almost
20 years.
No. If you do, no, you said 250 weeks. There's 52
Oh,
weeks.
yeah. You're right. Yeah. So 50. So 52
So
weeks
you're
in a
looking
year.
at about
Divided
5
by,
years.
yeah, 5 years, 4.8. So 5 years. You have to put 5 years into your craft before you become. There you go. You got to put in 5 years before you could become a master in your craft. So let me ask you a question. How long is your hobby going to stay a hobby, asshole?
Yeah.
How long?
Yeah.
How long?
Ooh.
You want to make millions of dollars doing what you're doing, putting 2 hours a weekend? Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
It's you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have to figure something out, man. And I know a lot of people say, well, just do this when you get off of work. You better have a massive passion for what you do. That means you're going to have to say no to your kids. You're going to have to say no to your wife. You're going to have to say no to new pussy. You got to say no to a whole lot of stuff so you can say yes to your craft. And this is why women don't understand why men are saying, hell no, I'm not getting married to you. Look at what I had to. I have to put in 10,000 hours in order to become a master. You think I'm just going to hand it over to some crazy woman who has a body count of 54? No, I'm not doing that.
This is where I can say the what's the word I'm looking for? No, the differentiator. This is where the differentiator kicks in. Because we always ask the question like, yo, why can't women, go through school and build that relationship to get married, so to speak? Men on the other side of the spectrum, you really do got to focus on what you got to do before you even entertain bringing a woman into your life, because we have the responsibility of being that provider.
And you have to be her provider for the rest of her life.
Yes. So you need those resources, you need the income and everything to accomplish these things. So I didn't even look at this 5 years and, 10,000 hours to master your craft. Like, that's a lot. I didn't until you broke it down. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, if you're going to take the time to dedicate to actually reach that, financial freedom, yeah, you really got to focus on that.
You gotta put your you gotta switch it around. You gotta you gotta work your job like it's a hobby and work your craft like it's your future. You know what I'm saying? That work your craft like it's a hobby is bullshit. You have to. Nobody who is the best work their job harder than they work their craft. Nobody. I don't care how far down you go. Nobody worked their job harder than their craft. Nobody.
And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing people work the job
way harder.
Way harder. That's what you say. But they're expecting the results of their craft to take off.
Yeah.
You can't serve two masters.
No, you can't.
You can't serve two masters.
The Bible tells you that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
Yep.
why I say to my wife, I said, I remember this is, and I think I forget who it was who said this, man. I think it was Cedric. I think it was Cedric. Yeah, yeah, it was Cedric. He said, "Yo," he said, "I'm convinced we're gonna have to buy black women back." And when
Mhm.
he said this was years ago, Walls, years ago, he
Mm.
said, "I think we're gonna have to buy black women back." I sat back in my chair,
Mm.
looked up, and said,
Mm.
"Damn."
Yeah. Yeah.
If that ain't nothing but a bombshell there.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
can't talk, black men can't say shit. We gotta shut our mouths
Yeah.
and just say, you right. You know what I'm saying? Here's why I get so pissed off about women. Is because you get all the credentials and instead of helping me out, you use it to bump me upside my head with it.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that they did this on purpose, right? Well, we realize it, but it's too fun to bump you upside the head with it. Put your
Yep.
ass back in your place. I'm like, who are you putting in your place? You ain't putting me in my place. No, what you're doing is removing your place.
Yeah.
You're not putting me. I'm still going to shine. It might take me a little longer, but I'm gonna still shine. But you're not really putting me in my place. You're taking yourself out of your place. But in order for us to get these women to listen, this is why when Dr. Heavenly said what she said, it blew my mind. I was like, because it
Mm-hmm.
reminded me of Cedric and what Cedric said, right? And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, man. And she said she was willing to teach me. That was enough for me.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
What's the how much is it? You said you're going to take 2 years of my life? Cool, no problem. I got that. I can give you 2. I can sacrifice 2 years. It ain't a big deal. You know what I mean? And I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
learn from you. You know, because if you're willing to teach me, I'm going to learn it. I love to learn anyway. I love learning new things. You know, so it's like nothing wrong with that. I'll go for it. But Cedric is right, man. You're going to have to buy our women. We're going to have to buy our women back. They have colleges that they put them in. They got corporations to give them. They have stores that they built for them. There's so much stuff that black women have. And that's why they were like, I'd rather be over here than try to struggle with you. I don't want to struggle
But
love anymore.
this is where I'm disappointed in, because everybody say, black women are the most educated or women are the most educated and stuff like this. This is where I'm disappointed, because everything you just outlined, where you need time to hone your craft. Without the time, you're not going to reach that pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
So if women are sitting up here saying, yo, I want a man that's already at that pinnacle, and you're not getting that, then something should tell you, yo, even if I don't get a person that's in that pinnacle, if they do have a dream or a goal they're trying to accomplish, and I have the financial backing to temporarily hold things down so that they can reach that pinnacle, because at the end of the day, if you're going to walk into a situation, relationship, or marriage, whatever, you got to look at it as we, not this is mine, and his is ours. Most of these couples that are power couples, they built it together.
Yeah.
They literally built it together. So it's like, if you're the most educated and you're saying women are winning right now and dudes are struggling, for whatever the case may be, whatever reason there is, why not help uplift? Because best believe, when a guy reached the pinnacle, he's not thinking, I don't need a woman. He's thinking, I need a woman I can share this with.
Yeah, because she's going to take me to my next step, my next level.
Yes.
Because now I
When
have
they
something
get
to
to that
pass down to my
pinnacle,
kids now.
yep.
And this is where, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I think it's more of the social media rhetoric that's keeping us apart, because
yes,
I'm gonna be real. In the real world, I don't have these problems.
That's true.
I don't have these problems. Like when I was listening to the young lady saying like she was playing with the guy in the real world, and he was like, well, I hit the wall. And he was like, hit the wall. What the hell does that mean? Well, I hit the wall, meaning that I'm worthless because I'm over 35. He was like, I don't know what they're talking about, but I don't see that. That woman went ahead, got lost a little weight, she looking fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you looking
Mm-hmm.
good. Like, she looking good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you looking with those pretty eyes. Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, I'm
Yep.
being careful because my wife is. I love my wife. This is entertainment, and this is a
Yeah.
man show. So please understand that
Now, let
we
me
ain't
just
that
say this
smart.
real quick. Let me just say this. I'm gonna be listening. I gotta go wake up the little one. So
Go do
go
your
ahead.
thing. Do your thing.
Uh huh.
So yeah. So but basically, what I was saying was, the when you know how to talk to women, when you know how to approach a woman, when you know the signs that women give you, and you know the type of woman that you like to deal with, when you have all those chips in tow, getting women are too damn easy. Remember, they want you too. Okay, don't ever men just get off of this crap that women don't want you. They want you too. You have those crazy women out there that want you on their terms temporarily because they haven't met you yet, right? When they meet you and you the man that they want, they'll jump over freaking hurdles to get you. Okay?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
how they are designed. Don't ever feel like you're in competition with a woman because you're never, ever in competition with a woman. I don't care how much money Dr. Heavenly makes. Eventually, you're going to gas out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eventually you're gonna say,
Yeah.
you know what? I want to put my feet up. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Eventually you're gonna want
Yeah.
to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yep.
not worrying about, finding a woman that I want. They're out there. Most women
Yeah.
don't even get on social media because they're too busy.
Mm-hmm.
They're too
Mm-hmm.
busy. They're not sitting here. They're
Yep.
not playing. The only time women really get on social media is when they bored.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They're bored. They don't got nothing
Mhm.
else better to do. So they'll go up there on social media and they'll do some things. But at the end of the day, man, there's no real reason to sit here and think that you're competing with women. No. Yeah, what about what about hypergamy? Yeah, that dissipates real fast when she sees you.
Mm-hmm.
Because money does not translate as man to her. Man translate as man to her. You a
Yep.
man for there's women till this day. They still make them, Wally P. I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
they did, but they still make them. These are women that have no problem with paying a man's way.
Oh yeah. Oh
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Definitely. Definitely.
Because she
There's
realized
yeah.
I got a real man and I don't
Yep.
and he's working on his craft and I see his progression and I believe in him and I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to be in his corner. Tiny,
Because
you know what I'm saying?
you still have women that are old fashioned who don't focus on the superficial of social media. Because
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, man, when it comes to like dating online, which is like the most common thing nowadays, you're blinded by all the glamour and glitz, so to speak. Like I remember strategic just a couple of days did a video on, there was this worker in like Starbucks or something like that, and they wrote a note on a foam cup saying, yo, if you're in trouble, whatever, let me know. The reason why, there was like, no, if you're in trouble, take the lid off this coffee cup and I know you're in distress. The reason why that worker wrote that, because a gentleman was trying to kick the really bobo to the chick that was ordering the coffee. For those who don't know what kick the really bobo is, that's old school, trying to kick it to her, get to know her, whatever. So he the lady got her coffee, whatever, and was speaking to the gentleman and never took the lid off the coffee after reading it, because it was just like, yo, the dude's talking to me, he's trying to get to know me, go out on a date, whatever, this, that, and the third. And it's like those interactions where now people view it as, if you're trying to get to know a woman in person or whatever, it's like foreign, where it's like, oh, you're a creep, you're a narcissist, or whatever the case may be. You get all these labels just for trying to actually get to know a woman in person. The problem with online is, he made this reference too. He was like, yo, he had a buddy of his that they go on vacations like once or twice like once, maybe twice a year or whatever. They would take a myriad of pictures, all types of pictures, this, that, and the third. And do you know what this dude was doing?
What's that?
Every few weeks or so, he would release the pictures. What did that do? That built the facade of, oh, I go on vacations all throughout the year. So when people will go, like women will go to the profile and they see you flossing and all these different pictures overseas, and hey, you're on cruises, this, that, and the third, not knowing that it's the same damn cruise. This person just took hella pictures presenting this persona
Different
that I'm
clothes,
cruising, the different clothes, the whole nine,
different.
different sceneries, you
When
know,
you dock, you get on the
exactly,
camel. Yeah,
exactly. And it just built that facade of like, dag. So if a woman come across thinking, yo, this is a high roller, they're automatically thinking, oh, if I could be good with this dude, I could go out, on these cruises also, not knowing that the man could afford just the one cruise for him once a year or whatever the case may be. It's a different ball game now when you got to invite the lady, or if she got, God forbid, if she got kids or something like that, to invite the whole crew on this cruise. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
you know what I
what's
call
that?
that?
What's that?
Payback.
Yeah, facts, facts. So it's like the whole internet thing is such a facade, man. Like, it's ridiculous, and people put a lot of hopes on it. And it's like, dude, it's best to be old fashioned with it, because here's the thing. If you actually give the person a time of day, like we're talking like in person or whatever the case may be, you ever met a person who, like, they weren't that attracted to you? I mean, you weren't that attracted to them, but after a while you start to get to know them. It's like,
Yes.
damn, yo, this
Hmm?
person, like, you actually look good, like you actually looking cute. This,
Yeah.
why is that? Because you're actually getting to know the person inside.
Yeah.
You, like, all the other stuff, don't get me wrong, you had some, maybe a little bit of attraction to them outside, but the fact that you get to know them and you like, yo, we actually click, this woman is funny, this woman is nice as I don't know what, like, yo, I feel she compliment me, I feel like, yo, if I got hopes and dreams, she's gonna help me move to the next level.
Yep.
She start looking beautiful as hell to you. And
Hmm.
it's like, yo, now people on the outside may be like, okay, how did that couple come together? Like, yo, this dude is, almost 300 pounds. She's like a buck 50 or a buck
Right.
40 soaking wet. It's like, yo, what the hell? Yeah, that person saw the inner beauty on the inside, and it actually cultivated and manifested itself on the outside, so to speak. And that's the core values that I believe that, is being missed nowadays when it comes to, the whole courting and thing like that. It's just money, 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 and looking at a facade online
Yeah.
on what the person could do. But like you said, in my real world, I don't experience none of the BS that you see on social media with, you know I got this and hitting the wall, that all of that stuff. That's not in my reality.
Yeah. I'm not
I don't.
interested.
Yeah,
I'm not. Listen. I don't really give a crap about your body count unless it's affecting you, right?
yeah, yeah.
I do like there are parameters, right? And based on certain parameters will determine if I'm going to deal with you or not.
Yes.
Are you truthful? That's number one for me. You have to be truthful. If you're not truthful and I start feeling like I can't trust you, then it's not going anywhere anyway. So it doesn't matter. But you have to be truthful. You have to have some level of accountability because even I don't account for everything that I do. That's just
Hmm.
impossible. But
Exactly.
you have to have a form of accountability, right? You have to. And I'll learn that by just having a conversation with you. If you can't answer questions, you'll always be an F buddy to me. You
Yeah.
can't answer questions,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
don't want to be
Yeah.
bothered with that. Like I went
Yeah.
through that.
Yeah.
It's too tiring. I don't want to go through that anymore. My wife and I, we talk about it all the time. This is the last time I'm ever investing my life in another person. I don't give
Yeah.
a rip. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's too much work, and it's high probability that I'm not going to get it right the second time. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
I'm not interested. But your body count, and a lot of men don't want to hear this, but her body count is only your problem if she has a if it's your problem. No. Her body count is only a problem if she has a problem with it. Right? If
Yeah.
she has a
Yeah.
problem with, meaning she can't get past the men that she's had sex with, right? She's
Hmm.
constantly comparing you to them. She's
Yeah.
constantly talking about them. She's constantly talking about what these men did to her, blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a
Hmm.
problem. That's a problem. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But if
Hmm.
she went through her demons, she dealt, because let's be honest here. You're not going to find a woman that doesn't have a broken hymen in America. You're not.
Facts.
You're not.
Facts.
You're
Facts.
not finding it. Shout out to Patrice O'Neal.
Yeah.
You're not finding that. So if you want a virgin, you best be one.
For real. For real.
You better find her ass in high school quick. You know what I'm
You know.
saying?
You know what's crazy though? Like growing up, when it came to me doing my thing or whatever. Truth be told, yo, I hated coming across a virgin.
Hmm?
I
Oh
hated
yeah,
coming across a virgin
they were
because
annoying, and here's why it was
yes,
annoying. Because they think they're like, well, and they look at you and they act, they present themselves in a way, and it's like, I don't want any parts of you. Maybe, and here's the thing, they don't. A lot of virgins don't stay virgins long because they realize men are not interested. Because when you do with one side, you do on the other side, right? Right, Walls. If you're
yeah,
going to turn women into whores on one side, the men are going to become whores on the other side,
mm-hmm,
and vice versa.
mm-hmm,
You can't separate the two. So if you got men that are running around expecting sexual favors at the third date mark, a virgin is not going to make the cut.
yeah,
Okay, I don't care how sweet you are, how gentle you are. The fact that you're expecting me to wait until marriage is crazy. Like, why? I don't want to wait to marriage. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
mm-hmm,
ready for marriage. I'm not ready for that major step. But I like to get my wet every now and again. And I
mm-hmm.
can't get it wet dealing with a virgin. So I have to let you go. So it's a catch 22. This is why I tell men, stop worrying about body count. Think about what you truly want and what you're willing to deal with. If the woman has a high body count and she talks like a whore, leave her alone. It's
See,
not hard to find. It's not hard to figure that out.
all right, I gotta the way I gotta break this conversation down is gonna be in rated G, so to speak. So work with me because I got virgin ears here.
Okay. I'll try. I'll try.
Putting stuff in the laundry here. They can't hear.
Oh.
I
That's
got
another.
the
Oh, wait
headphones
a minute.
on.
Listen.
I got headphones on. Yeah.
Listen. This is. I really want to do this video. I really want to. I don't know if I want to do a live with it. I don't
Okay.
know if I want to hit the streets with this one. But this is
Okay.
an excellent question. I want to ask men. Okay.
Okay.
What is the big deal with washing dishes? Okay. I really
Okay.
want
All
to
right.
ask
Bet.
this question. I want, because you have so
Yeah.
many men. I ain't washing no dishes. I ain't doing no
Yeah.
house cleaning. I'm like,
If
do
you
you
want,
know
if
that
you
that was a
want,
profession of mine? Washing
yeah.
dishes, cleaning toilets, trimming hedges, washing clothes. Like, I had a whole profession around that. So I'm scratching my head hearing men say, I ain't doing that. And I'm like, why not? Why
Yeah.
can't you help your girl out, and knock out a pot or two when like, why can't you? I don't understand the problem.
That could be something we definitely can tackle. We
Gotta
could
get
definitely
into that.
tackle that. Yeah, we definitely could tackle. But here's my reason for not liking virgins. Being the fact that in my previous life I was, promiscuous to the T. I hated virgins because when it came down to doing that damn thing, it's ouch, it hurts, and take your time, this, that, and the third. Like, and I'm just like, bro, I'm ready to get my D wet. Like,
In other
I don't
words,
got
you
time.
want a
I
hoe.
don't.
See,
I don't got time for this. Trying to and
listen,
take it like. I don't mind taking it slow when doing the thing, but like for instance, I had this scenario with a V, right? The whole time was spent trying to actually make it work. Like, I'm talking,
Getting it
insertion.
in. I know. I've been in
And
there. I've been there.
it
Yeah.
wasn't because the pain and everything like that. And
You
I
kept
get it.
clenching up.
Women, I understand wholeheartedly that like the first time is most likely a painful experience, this, that, and the third. But me being in my selfish state of mind, I'm like, what that got to do with me? I'm trying to get my D wet. You wanted us to take it there, so what's up? Like,
Mhm.
case in point, it never went down, and I was frustrated.
Yeah.
I didn't the thought of what she went through
Didn't
never
matter.
crossed my mind, not once.
Mhm.
Now in the future, it like crossed. I'm like, damn, that like, you was a piece of crap, man. Like,
No,
you didn't even
no,
have
no, no,
no.
no, 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 no. You're not a piece of crap. You're human.
Yeah, thinking about my needs, like that was it. I didn't,
You're human, man.
yeah.
I remember when I was doing it. It took me and my first girlfriend, 4 times to try to get it right? 4.
Yeah.
And we was together for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So it took a long time to do it because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Then, she clenching up, then it gets soft. Now you got to rebuild it back up. And it's just, so it's work. It was work. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. It's like it doesn't just happen. You know what I mean? Like y'all, they be thinking like it just, and then we in the races. No, it takes time. You know what I mean? But
just thinking back now, like, that was the most work I had to put in to get some, and then even get some. Like,
didn't even get some.
Like, it was frustrating, but yeah, man, like I was never a fan of V's. I understand that people look at it, it's a precious thing to have to get a V and everything like that, because it's unsoiled and everything. But me personally, I was never a fan of a V. After I experienced that, I was like, I'm good. Let somebody else, break the wall down, and then I can come in.
Yeah.
And do mop up duty or whatever you want to call it, man. So.
I mean, look, I think a lot of us we forget that we're animals.
Yeah.
We forget that we're animals, and we don't really sit down and really discuss the animalistic part of mating. We don't talk about it. We're too busy trying to make this act seem so precious,
civilized, or something
and
like
spiritual, and no, it's fucking.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, in a nutshell, pretty
that's
much.
What it is. Can it be passionate? Can it be memorable? Can it be, spiritual and all that other stuff? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But
it's all mental.
for all intents and purposes, man, if you're doing it right, it's nasty, it's smelly, it's sweaty, it's filthy, it's dirty, it's destructive, it's Toya, hey.
Put it like this, like, there's a question that I got for the women, like, even if you're a woman that's into like the passionate,
like the negative 3 women that's watching this video, right?
Yeah, I know. Like, if you're into the passion, love making, like the Zane Sex Chronicles type thing, whatever, but then they turn around and see somebody just like busting cheeks, like I'm talking waxing them buns.
Yeah.
Does that look more attractive to you? Like, I want to try that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, does that look appealing to you, or it's just like, nah, I don't want no parts of that. I want my slow, passionate.
It depends on the woman, obviously.
Okay.
You have a lot of women out there that don't want to be swollen afterwards. You know what I mean? They want
Yeah.
to like be able to walk, and they got shit to do, so don't mess up her hair. You know, you have one of those sophisticated women out there that just don't want to, rand pay like that. And then you got
Yeah.
the other ones like, back to back to back to back, like, you ain't done until you raw about it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
kind of, going in. So, and everything in between, right? Because,
Hmm.
women's sexual sex drive is different from men, not less than men,
Hmm.
different. For those men out there that really want to know about the female sex drive, is different. It's not less, it's different. Because
Yeah.
if it was less in any manner, we wouldn't have so many abortions in our country. So that's not, so it's different. They want to screw just as much as we do, if not
Here,
more. It's
here,
just
here-
they do it
here's one thing.
differently.
Here's one thing I want to do, because before we end the stream, because the stream is coming to an end.
Mm. Oh, thank you. Thank you for letting me
Yeah.
back in. I didn't.
the show is coming to an end, because it's from 6 to 8 a.m. or whatever.
Mhm.
Tomorrow, when we do have the morning show, we're gonna have to touch the topic of the woman's sex drive, and we'll see if we can get some women to call in, to enlighten us on the whole sex drive thing and everything like that,
Oh,
like
I would
this very
love that.
conversation, yeah, that we were speaking on. So we'll
Oh,
see
I
if
would
we can
love
get some
that.
callers to call in and voice their opinion on that or whatever. But with that being said, we are going to make a modification to the scheduling
It's not.
temporarily.
It's not 50 Shades of the Bedroom.
Yeah.
I I have to disagree with you 1,000%. It's
Uh-huh.
definitely 50 Shades of the Bedroom. Okay, we listen. 20 years plus, it's definitely different shades. I remember, the progression was all different. It was beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Getting old
Facts.
sucks, but it can be beautiful. You know what I mean? It's
Facts.
like there are beautiful shades of this. Oh, it's definitely some 50 Shades. You know what I mean? Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna for tomorrow we're gonna come on as usual, but the next show will be Friday. So the show is gonna be going forward for now Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yeah, I think it's the best.
Yeah,
We
yeah, it's
decided that it might be better that way.
yeah,
Because we need a day. We need days to prepare.
yeah, yeah.
We are working men. I'm a working
Hmm.
man again. Hello,
Hmm.
hello, hello.
Yeah.
But
Say it again. Say it again.
I'm
Say
a
it
working
again.
man again. Oh shoot! Now look at the Gary Lamb out there doing his thing again. You know what I'm saying? It only took 2 years, but
Yeah.
nah. But let's be real. I was pigeonholed for those whole 2 years, man.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know what I went through. Y'all really don't
Hmm.
know. But I will be illustrating it in a movie that I'm
Hmm.
writing right now. Actually,
Oh, and I'm looking forward
yeah,
to that, yo.
yeah,
When y'all see the production on this thing, whoo!
yeah.
Oh man, like it hits. I definitely know. I definitely say this, man. You know how to pull on a person's emotional strings, man. Like, yo, that from what I've seen, I'm looking forward to like your story and everything like that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna
So
be a
be
real movie,
prepared,
full
people. Yeah, be
fledged
prepared.
movie.
Yeah.
Is not some just put your phone up and no. I actually have a production team, putting
Yes.
this thing
Yes.
together. So it's gonna be. I'm gonna put this on Patreon though. Fuck YouTube. You're not getting
Yeah.
this money. No,
Yeah.
no. Y'all done fucked me too many goddamn times. I was gonna do it on YouTube, but I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna put it on Patreon for those
You
who
know what you
want to
could
see the
do?
what.
You could probably put a snippet on YouTube. That's
No,
it.
no, no. I'm gonna have a pilot.
Oh, okay,
Definitely have a
okay, okay.
pilot,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the
yeah,
rest of
yeah,
the
yeah.
show, the
Yeah,
rest
it's
of the
gonna be on.
movie is gonna be
Yeah,
on YouTube.
Patreon.
I mean, Patreon.
Patreon. Yeah,
Um,
gotcha.
because I just don't feel like YouTube deserve it. It's like I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. I wanna separate my members from YouTube
Mhm.
because what and I wasn't going to do this until I heard what Strategic Eyes said last night on your show. Shout out to Strategic Eyes.
Yeah.
He said like, yo, you lose your members and they don't come back. I'm like, no, they do, but they're not coming back to YouTube. They're going
Yeah.
somewhere else. Yeah, I'm not about to
Facts.
sit here and try this all over again with YouTube. You just
Mhm.
snatch all my members. You snatched what 3 years of my work
Yeah.
because of a couple of freaking violations 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like that's how you
That
do.
ain't right.
That's how you
Yeah.
do, people. No problem.
That ain't right.
No problem. You ain't got to worry about me ever. You ain't got to worry about me monetizing my channel again. I don't care. I don't worry about it. Like, it's cool. If I do, I'll do it for the freaking shorts. I'll monetize for the shorts, but I ain't putting no hard work in no damn YouTube. All my videos is going on Patreon. You want my real videos, they'll be there. You know, because it's too much work to be putting on YouTube for them to demonetize you. It's too much work. From thumbnails to production, you know, these transitions are not cheap. Okay, these tools that we use are not cheap. Okay, I spend $1,000 a year alone on Adobe Suite. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not cheap. You know,
see,
what I mean?
I use Adobe Rush.
Adobe Rush. What is that?
I use Adobe Rush. It's different. It makes things a lot quicker. It's not as you can't do as much as things as you want to as Adobe Premiere, but it gets the job done as far as Adobe Rush. Yeah. It's for
I got the whole I got the whole suite. Yeah.
The suite. When you get a chance, just play with Adobe Rush just to see it. It's a way to, like, for 2 seconds, like not 2 seconds, but shortcut. All right, it is what it is. But
I'm happy with what I got.
Got you.
10,000 hours, remember, baby. 10,000 hours.
Facts.
But no, so yeah, I'm gonna be putting that stuff on Patreon. You can go ahead and support me over there once I already got my Patreon ready to rock and roll. It's just that I have no content over there as of yet because I've been trying to get back on my feet. So once I get to that place where this tax money comes and I'm ready to rock and roll with that, then I'm going to really go hard because I'm going to get the website going. Everything. Yo, you guys will be able to just start pulling people off of YouTube. And, you know, T. Williams, what's up? How you doing? Good morning. Thank you for coming.
What's up, T. Williams?
I just want to make sure you guys are up to speed. Shout out to Winning Reality. Shout out to Talking Trash and Truths. Today we will be talking at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
I don't know what the topic is today. I haven't gotten that far, and as soon as we get off of this live, I'm going back to sleep. So I'm not gonna know until, like, I don't know, 10. You know, hell, we might just go up and just start talking about nothing. I don't know. Like, what's the topic today, Gary? I don't know. I don't have a video ready. I'm not ready because a brother man was out last night doing a damn
But you know what? What's the one thing that's guaranteed is you will be entertained. So definitely
you will be entertained.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we will be wrapping up this show. Thank you for joining us.
Wait.
What's up?
Oh, what do you got going on this week? What do you got going on? Like, you're going to be on? You're going to be coming on Winning Realities, right?
I'm coming on this week, yes.
Okay, because I'm
coming
this week. This week we're going to be discussing why Black people are so emotional. Okay. And I think this is a very important topic for those who give a shit, because, you know, some people don't give a damn. I don't care. I don't think about your guys like that. And you're right, because I don't think about your ass like that. So I get it. But he asked the question. I'm like, oh, you really want to know the answer? You know, I'm not about to answer it. I'm gonna get some Black people up here that can argue your goofy ass down and make you, and you know,
it's gonna be
be interesting because if I can get 360 smooth up there, whoo.
Yeah,
he gonna now. Don't get it twisted. 360 will probably agree with him on a lot of things. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be a freaking, you know, completely disagreeing act or whatever. It's just he's curious and he wants to know, so we're gonna give him what he wants.
Got you. All right, sounds like a plan. At this point, I gotta dip out of here because I gotta take the little one to the bus stop.
Yep.
So that she can hop on her bus and head on off to school, right, little one? Yep. So we're gonna be signing off. Gary Lamb, you want to end it off? Because I know this is Gary Lamb signing off.
I don't need to do it all. This is Gary Lamb signing off. You guys have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.